afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fast Facts and Features with me, the brand ambassador for Ethical Flooring. We are super duper excited today to welcome longtime personal friend of mine, business associate that we worked with in the past, Christine Friend, the Friendly Designer. So thank you so much, Christine, for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me, Jeanette. You know, I will spend any time that I can with you.
Oh, our relationship goes back to when I first got in the hardwood floor business back in another company, which will remain nameless. And we really built up quite this amazing relationship back and forth of being a resource now for each other. So I truly appreciate that. So why don't you further introduce yourself and give a kind of a synopsis on your business and how long you've been in business?
Sure. Well, my name is Christine Friend. My company name is Friendly Designer. I actually used to be called Friendly Decorator, and I still use both names, but I kind of veered away from decorator and into designer because I don't actually do a lot of decorating. One of my favorite things to do is knock down walls and do a design and work with architects and things like that. So, that kind of morphed over I hate to say this, but it's been 20 years now that I've had my own business. I know it was my very first client was 20 years ago this past December, who I'm still working with actually quite regularly. He's building a brand new house up in Vernon. It's a large, big scale house, and we have Zoom meetings like we're all used to now, and we're working together still. So very loyal to each other, and it's great to do that. So yeah, it's been 20 years and I love it. I love, there's many good things about, having your own schedule, as you know, of being self-employed. You have your own schedule. I have 2 kids, and it makes it really flexible. And kids are a lot of money, so I get my fix of spending other people's money. so it's a lot of fun.
So I'm going to ask you a question. What is the relationship between the interior designer and the builder? I know I didn't send you this question ahead of time. So how many builders do you work with, or contractors do you work with in order to get your projects?
Right now, I have 5 different contractors that I work with. Actually, maybe 6. Right, you kind of forget, because sometimes I forget that the contractor is a customer, right? Also, when they're building, but probably 5 or 6. And each of them do something just slightly different. When I go and I meet clients, I assess the situation, find out which contractor is going to be best suited for them. Some contractors do smaller projects. Some people are a little more versed in doing like the bigger projects. Some people are going to be able to knock off a roof and add a second floor because they have that experience. So just depending on the scope of the project will determine which contractor I'm sort of going to suggest that they work with. And also, if people don't have contract, or people also themselves, the clients may call me from, who knows, maybe a supplier provided me the referral, and they may have their own contractor. So, it may be just a one-off. So I can work with any contractor. To me, all the principles are still the same, but I am going to, I'm a fairly easygoing designer. I don't have sort of an attitude of it's got to be my way or the highway. And I don't think a lot of people are like that. But I try to work together as a team with everybody. Everybody brings something to the table, and I like working with the team.
So if you were to say you had a niche, or where you like to design and see it through all the way to the end, what is your niche, Christine?
The niche is probably a little bit of problem solving, right? So, and I mean, I do a lot of kitchens and bathrooms. And in kitchens, the way that, many people are updating their kitchens now. As we know, people can't really afford to move, and our houses are aging, can't afford to buy new houses, so they're renovating their 15, 20, 25-year-old kitchen. Well, nowadays, there's so many items on the market that you can put on the interior of cabinets that makes spaces so much more functional, whether you have a small space or a large space. So just depending on what the challenge is. So to me, what's my niche is probably kitchens and bathrooms. I can, I have unbelievable relationships with my suppliers in those areas. So it just makes it, and I like it. I like that. I like doing that. I like knocking down walls. I like doing open concepts if the customer is wanting that. So yeah, I would say a niche is kitchens and bathrooms and problem solving to the best that I can with my team.
And speaking of your team, what is the relationship that you have with your suppliers, and specifically with ethical flooring? I know recently you just got a floor
Mhm.
with, I think it was it not Yan, who was, oh, Bill Parsons worked with the contractor, that you worked with the contractor, and they came in and purchased the floor.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
what does that relationship look like to you for your success, your customer success, or client success?
Supplier relationships are very meaningful to me and very important, because I'm self-employed. It's just me. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm kind of work as their outside sales rep, and they're sort of my insider of everything that they do. They're the specialist. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to learn every single product that they offer. So I'm relying on them heavily to be able to provide me with options that are going to be best suited for my clients. So, you know, they educate me. They also, you know, I'm really good at making sure that I book an appointment. It works with their schedule. Clients make time for us, and so we're getting that one-on-one time, and we're not, you know, people aren't distracted. You know, and at the same time, if you know they get a call or they have to go off, it gives us a little bit of time just to talk between the two of us or the three of us or whatever it is with the clients. So it's just, you know, it also, you know, building the relationships with the suppliers, for me anyways, the more that I am with certain clients, many of my suppliers, I have the highest discount that they
Mm.
can offer anybody, because I have been loyal. I'm very loyal. Once I kind of find somebody, we click, then I've got those extra discounts, which then I can pass on to the customer. So, you know, there's going to be a benefit for everybody. You know, again, with the relationships, we know how each other works. I can say, hey,
Mhm.
listen, I'm looking for X, and it needs to be able to do A, B, and C. And they know that, hey, don't give me that sort of, you know, bottom of the line entry level thing. You know, people can go and find that themselves. So for the most part, they just know sort of a little bit what I'm looking for. Again, having done this for 20 years, some of the relationships I've built are very long and they're wonderful, and I love it. They've become,
Well,
they're like my coworkers, right?
I can remember many a time dropping off samples at your house and making the little pile and then looping my way back to pick them up, and making sure that you had the right samples for your storyboards and things like that. So
Right.
other than your suppliers providing you education, Christine, how do you keep yourself updated and educated about this ever changing
Mhm.
industry?
Yeah, there's always lots of things to do. There's always, I mean, during COVID it was a little more challenging. You know, but now we're getting out of that. And so now one of the bigger things that I do is attend trade shows.
Hmm.
And at the trade shows, I'll go to seminars, finding, you know, of various pieces, right? A lot of the times it depends on, you know, if there's something specific that I have of a project right now and then, if I have a challenge, you know, sometimes I'll make assumptions and then I think, okay, what are the implications of my assumptions? And then what's the next step that I can do to reframe and brainstorm and make sure that I'm going to give the solution the best that it can with respect to new products or just solutions there. So I often will go to trade shows, I'll go to seminars. If, yeah, absolutely. I'll go to product knowledge sessions if any of the
Hmm.
suppliers are offering that. I go to lots of plumbing ones. Social media actually has a lot to offer too.
Hmm.
So, you know, a longtime mentor of mine, she actually has a school of design for cabinetry and kitchens and things like that. So, you know, I rely on my you know, my fellow sort of designers as well. You know, we will also talk with each other and collaborate and see whether or not, you know, is there some things that we can help each other with, and we share our suppliers, things like that. But you know, one of the big things, I'm not a person, I've never been a person who likes to be in a classroom and take notes. I'm a
Mm.
real hands-on person. So one of the biggest ways that I've learned throughout my whole career and even now is I do tons of meetings with the tradespeople. So whether
Mhm.
it's the flooring installer, the tile installer, the plumber, the electrician, I will always meet them on job sites and I will say, what are we doing and why? One of the bigger
Mhm.
challenges now is with the high voltage, you know, with all the high tech stuff. So again,
Right.
you know, I just can't learn every single trade. So I rely on those, you know, those other trades people, but I'm a super hands-on person. And if I see it, then I'll have a better understanding as opposed to, like, you know, sitting in a classroom and doing the theory behind it. So for education, I ask, it's been since I was a little girl, I've been known to ask way too many questions.
Love it, love it, love
Yeah.
it. So a little bit on the spot here, but I know the last time we got together and chatted, because we're friends on Zoom, you're working with a big number of clients right now. Where do you see the trends that your customers are looking for in flooring these days, in hardwood flooring? What's still the trend out there, and what are people choosing?
Yeah, a big thing is durability. I think, like, you know, there's that big influx of people getting pets, right?
Yes.
So people are for sure wanting some durability, you know, and honestly, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I could probably say that I was a little bit of a vinyl plank snob, and I wouldn't have even looked at it. But nowadays, the way that, you know, the product is coming through, it's a nice product, and sometimes you just don't know if it's vinyl or not because it's made so well.
Right.
So I would say for sure there's a lot more vinyl that's going in. It's a little bit more affordable for people. Again, you know, the price of everything has gone so expensive, but the vinyl is a sort of an entry, or, you know, I mean, you can buy really expensive vinyl as well, but it's one that some people can afford to do. I think, you know, there's certainly people are lightening up a little bit. I think that from my personal perspective, people are lightening up and getting away from the grays. You're going to start seeing the browns, you know, come in a little bit more. So I think people will transition into the grays, and then they might go back to the browns. So, but people are still for sure in the gray tones. Absolutely. You know, again, also people are putting in a lot of rugs, right? So wanting to get some rugs, and, you know, people are also being educated that you don't have to go and buy a rug from off the rack. We can buy a broadloom of rug and get it bound. And, you know, even the binding itself can be different. You know, you can go from very simple, you know, 1/2 inch to 2 or 3 inch bindings. So people are now exploring, you know, those details of what else you can do to bring to the table for bringing it a little bit more unique and customized to their own space.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And when you said about vinyl plank, so I do know the last time that I was in Ethical, and even just I was at my brother's place for, you know, looking after his dog, and vinyl, he managed to find a vinyl to go into his kitchen that was almost dead on to the hardwood floor. So there's that whole, I can do hardwood floor where, you know, my fancy entertaining is going to be, and where I need that vinyl plank, say downstairs or in a rental suite, the sight line is almost identical. So it's come a long way. Like you said, it has definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Christine, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure seeing you. And I know we just reconnected recently, and you call me and I call you all the time, go, hey, I've got somebody who I think you can help with. So again, thank you for being a resource for me, that I know when I send my customers, my past referrals and clients to you, they're going to be well taken care of.
Well, thank you, Jeanette. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Ethical appreciate your business as well.
Oh, they're great. They're wonderful. They're wonderful.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
We will be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. We're going to have Jan, the store manager, back on to find out what he's been up to in the last month. And then we wrap up the month back with Kevin to find out what he's up to. So take care, everybody. And Ethical, be prepared to be floored. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.